You say there are 7 signs of narcissism, and you're also going to tell us how to spot them. Let's just go through them one by one.
Yeah.
What's the first one?
So the first one's lack of empathy.
Okay.
And that's a defining characteristic. That's a defining characteristic of narcissism. In fact, if I see that somebody has really well-preserved empathy, I'm like, nah, not even happening. So that to me almost is the requirement. It's the bedrock of this pattern. The second is entitlement. Entitlement is that sense is that somehow someone should deserve special treatment, even if it's to the detriment of other people, that somehow they are different than everyone else. Again, sort of special by dint of their existence.
Yeah.
The third is grandiosity. It's sort of an unrealistic assessment of one's capacity or abilities, or they talk about a grandiose world that they don't even live in, the things that they may someday do. You know, someday I'm gonna climb Mount Everest. So they talk about it as though it's something they're actively doing or have already done. So it is, again, a very unrealistic, almost fantasy-like version of the world. They'll often talk about having one day the greatest love affair or the greatest love story or the greatest wedding or the greatest career. Everything is just bigger and larger than life. Number 4 is superficiality. There's a very vapid quality to narcissism. They're really only concerned about appearances, how a person looks, what a person owns, where they live, what they drive, what they carry, the shoes on their feet.
Chad?
It's very, very superficial to the detriment of other
4 out
characteristics.
of
Somebody
4.
out there might say, oh, but I love
I'm the
fashion.
least superficial
They're a very
guy
sweet,
here,
kind
alright?
person. That's not what we're talking about.
You
We're
guys
talking
with
about
your
superficiality
fucking,
with absolutely no
brand
depth behind it. We're
sneakers,
judging people solely on
fucking
superficial
skin routines. Shut the hell up,
characteristics
man.
and quality.
You fucking
Number 5
cucks.
is chronic seeking.
Probably get a
evaluation
haircut
for
more than
validation.
once a fucking 2
It's
years,
the
right?
constant need to be receiving praise,
Bitch-ass motherfuckers.
recognition, and nowadays that's really amped up because of social media. That they have to get likes and they have to get lots of traction on their social media page, and they need lots of followers and all of that. So it's that constant need, but it never stops. If you're even close to them, like you're their child or you're their partner, you have to constantly be telling them how wonderful they are and how great they are, and way beyond the thing that they've done. It's almost a nuisance to get a gift from a narcissist because you have to thank them for it so many times. It would have been easier to buy it yourself. Number 6 is their tendency to rage. They don't have good command of their emotions. They tend to be all over the map, and the one emotion they tend to manifest the most often is uncontrolled rage. That's often because they're so frustrated and they're so insecure, and they don't have good ways of dealing with their feelings. So it's not unusual for them to just come out when things don't go their way. They don't have any tolerance for frustration, so you'll see a lot of rage that comes out. And number 7, I'd really say, is arrogance. It's I'm better than you. And in some ways that sort of draws from the grandiosity, it draws from the entitlement, but it can come off as a snobbery, as a dismissiveness, as a devaluation.
I devalued everything you said.
That reminds me of another concept, Dr. Carter, that I'd love for you to respond to. And the concept is emotional laziness. Emotional laziness. So I'm very aware, this isn't to trumpet any of my efforts, but it takes work. I mean, I have to think about, not I have to, I want to, and I have to think about Christy. Okay, oh, that's right, she's with her ailing father. True story, by the way. She's with her ailing father today, and I know that's difficult for her. But anyway, this takes work. Quite honestly, this could get me in trouble. I'd rather sit and talk to Dr. Carter than to think about and to do the work of incorporating her into my life and things. So okay, that was a long-winded question. Do you find these emotionally immature men to also be emotionally lazy? Okay. Not doing okay, take it away. Don't hurt me, okay? I mean,
no, you and I were tracking, man.
Okay.
I have what I refer to as 5 levels of relationship engagement. Okay. And level 1 is functional.
Okay.
And would you pass the salt, or we need to be at this place at 7 o'clock? We're just going to stay functional with each other. Level 2 is we appeal to rules and regulations. We need to make sure that we are polite when we say something, or that we are punctual, and these are what the rules are. These are the parameters, and it's kind of like that grade school kid. You have to stand in line before we go to the cafeteria. That kind of thing. Level 3 is when you engage with each other based upon your values and principles. And that begins actually when you start going into your adolescent years, and your abstract thinking begins to kick in.
Is he gonna answer the question, or just talk randomly about things that are not related?
Good communication starts with respect and honor. That would be your values and your principles. And when you get to level 3, that's when you start getting deeper into a fuller, more adult style of thinking. Then level 4 is the empathy. And the empathy is when you have your values and you have your principles, but then you're also aware, but so does the other person. And so, because narcissists tend not to get out of themselves, because it's all about me by definition, they tend not to go deep into that empathy. And so they don't ask those penetrating questions, or they don't
Penetrate your mom. Alright, we're done.